Welcome to Ergontec, the Human X Factor show. About Ergon the Ergonomics Club. It was founded in December 2019, conducted around 30 meets webinars within 20 months, from 30 to 200 members, started from a small group physical meeting to a global reach through virtual platforms. The purpose of this club is to promote ergonomics to help people work with comfort and efficiency, to create awareness at professionals, public, and governmental levels, and to help in professional development. How does it work? Online and offline networking, education, or other events. One can volunteer, polish public speaking skills, share knowledge, mentor young professionals, and learn from others. Mission is lucky. Learning, action, quality, and ideas. Who can be a member? This is an international virtual community of professionals from different backgrounds. The primary group is open for all ergonomics enthusiasts, occupational and physical therapists who are already practicing ergonomics. The other group is for all who support the cause of human factors at work. So professionals from all backgrounds keen to learn, volunteer, support or sponsor events. Membership fee. Currently, there is no membership fee to be a part of the community. How to become a member? Just send a WhatsApp message stating your interest to join the club with your name, qualification, profession, city and country. Benefits of membership: first information of events, priority registration for events, discounts on paid webinars, seminars and conferences, platform to present your case studies, papers and thoughts, preferred references for work through networking, regular interaction and discussion to help develop an ergonomic thinking. About the Human X Factor show, this is to introduce guests from various walks of life who have done something interesting and extraordinary in their lives. People inspire by their stories. Listen to some life stories, their successes, their failures, how they fought the odds and emerged in their respective lives, and find answers to questions lingering in your minds. If you want your story to be covered or know someone whose story can inspire, please send a gist of your story on the following email.
The speaker for this episode, Dr. Vijay Suple, presently works with Closing the Gap Healthcare Group in St. Thomas, Ontario as a consultant occupational therapist. He has worked as an OT in Health Sciences Centre in Winnipeg, Manitoba and Wascana Rehabilitation Centre in Regina, Saskatoon, Canada. He has worked as a psychologist at the Vocational Rehabilitation Centre for the Physically Handicapped in Mumbai, India. He has also been the preceptor for Master of Occupational Therapy program conducted by the University of Toronto, McMaster University Hamilton and University of Western Ontario, London, Canada. Dr. Vijay Suple has numerous professional presentations to his credit, and he has also been invited as a guest speaker to numerous conferences for sharing his vast professional experience. He has been the guest speaker at the AIOTA conference, Chennai, January 2016 on the topic College of Occupational Therapists of Ontario Practice Regulating Body in Ontario. He has presented a paper in the AIOTA conference Bhubaneswar in 2013 January on falls and what we have learned. He has presented a paper in the AIOTA conference in Goa in January 2012 on falls in older adults. He has also presented a paper in the European Sitting Symposium in Dublin, Ireland in 2009 on wheelchair user perspectives. He has presented a paper in the WFOT conference, Sydney in Australia 2006. The topic of the presentation was on graduated delicensing in seniors. He has presented a paper in the Canadian Occupational Therapist Association conference in Kitchener, Ontario in 1989 on locus of control in physically handicapped population. He is currently collaborating the research study with Jean Lapointe, the Director of Professional Practice, Canadian Association of Occupational Therapists, Ottawa, on Literature Review on Fall Prevention. Dr. Suple has also contributed to various social organizations. Worth mentioning are his role as the past president of India Canada Association, Windsor, Ontario, Canada in the year 2008, and he has been the past Grand Master of the Great Western Masonic Lodge, Windsor, Ontario in the year 2009.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ergontec, the Human X Factor show. So, today we have a very special guest with us, joining us from Canada. Basically from India, but he's moved and settled in Canada since so many years. And we are blessed to have him together with us to share his life story. Welcome, sir, Mr. Dr. Vijay Suple.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Mona. First of all, let me thank you and Ergotec Ergonomic Club and all the club members for giving me opportunity to be here. And I'm really honored to be your guest for today's talk show. It's kind of.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thanks for
thanks to
accepting
this
our
modern
invite.
technology.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to modern technology that we are doing this interview. You are sitting in Mumbai in your home, and then I'm sitting in my office in Windsor, Canada. So thanks to you again. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, sir, we all know that you have been a very successful occupational therapist. You worked in India, now in Canada, and as a professional, everybody kind of looks up to you. Anything you would like to share about your childhood? How were you as a child?
Childhood was like any other kid's childhood, I would say, going back along memory lane, basically. And I was a pretty good child, actually. No kind of pleasant incidences or anything like that. No injuries. Fortunately, we were like a large family, and my cousins, like there were 14 boys from age group 1 to 23, 24, something like that, or maybe more than that, and then 6 girls. So we were kind of blessed that we were playing together. We didn't know, we didn't need any outside kind of people to play, but that doesn't mean that I didn't have the friend. I have a lot of friends also. As a child, I can remember 3 distinct things. I evaluate now myself now as a child. I can see that I was I was a little shy person, basically. As a child, I was hardly any talking to stranger, be that my mama or people visiting from another cities or something. But I never used to talk to them. I was just shy person, and I'm still a shy person. That's what people say. Um, the second thing was I was a little hyperactive. Yeah. I didn't have to take the medication or anything, but my energy level was very high as a child, and we did same thing like other kids do, right? Play kabaddi, gilli danda, and run in the ground, ped pe chadna, aam todna, so all those kind of stuff. It's a fun time, actually. Yeah. And another thing about me was I was good in studies in school. I used to be a monitor in my class. Like in my school, there were like four section of, say, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. So I used to be top in one section, and there were like three boys. They were top in their section. So I was always like, I never stood first though in my school. There was always one guy in my school. He was always first. We could never like dislodge him from his position. And so now I think about it. I tell my boys actually that I said, there is always another person smarter than you. Okay, you don't think that you are the smartest person in the world, right? So
Absolutely.
now, right, that's what it is. So childhoods are pretty good, and we were blessed in that, a joint family system, and we were kind of well
So
off
great. So as a
family. Yeah,
child,
so
you
there
were
was no.
very shy as well as a very active child. So, are there any traits that you've brought back from your childhood, and how are you as a person now?
I'm Now I'm not. I'm active now. I don't call myself hyperactive, but I'm very active in all field. Be it uh, uh, health thing, my own health. I am very active. I go to gym regularly. I had good hobbies actually. I was playing golf for 10 years almost. I played golf. I played. I ran at least like 10 years, almost like 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers. I used to run. Um, Horseback riding. I learned that for 10 years, 6, 7 years at least. Yeah, that was my dream from the childhood. When I was a little boy, I thought I used to like horses. Yeah, but we unfortunately we couldn't kind of continue that as a hobby there in India. But then I did it here. So those things are in me now. Yeah, and I was good in studies, so I'm still kind of good in my job, and whatever I do, work I do very neat and clean work. And that's what I would say. So yeah, those qualities are uh, uh, they never go away, right? Because that's a part of
Right,
your
you've
DNA.
carried over those qualities. So, I hope you don't climb trees anymore,
We don't we don't climb trees
but you
anymore. Yeah,
climb
that is,
horses now. Yeah.
yeah, the different. It was a fun activity. Horseback riding was, oh my goodness. Yeah, I never thought the ranch I did go to for horse riding classes. There's a sign at the front door. If you are learning horse riding, you can fall anytime, all right, from the horse. And people get in the accident that way. But thanks God, touch food, I never had that experience, a bad experience. Yeah, horse riding, enjoyable, totally enjoyable hobby. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, apart from horse riding and hitting the gym and going for long walks, do you also cherish some other hobbies?
Traveling is another hobby. Um, I travel almost everywhere actually. I've been to Australia, I've been to New Zealand, I've been to Botswana, Singapore, Hong Kong, European countries, Denmark, Switzerland, uh, France, Germany, all countries I have seen. And
Switzerland is beautiful. Which is your favorite city?
Switzerland is beautiful. Switzerland is a nice, little expensive. I like Denmark. Good. Denmark is good. Sweden is pretty good too. But when I was there in Sweden, it was like a little snow time there. So, but it's beautiful country. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but which is your favorite country?
Oh, my favorite country is, I would say, India, because my roots are there, right? My that culture is there, and my background is from there. So obviously, India is the best country. Second best country would be Canada. That's my land, there where I work. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
is
So
Canada is
we
a
call it Matrubhumi and Karmabhumi.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Canada is a big good country. Um, it was it is under number 5 actually best countries in the world. I think right now, Norway and Sweden, they are number 1 and 2. That's kind of WHO's gradation thing, yeah. According to human index, they call it, yeah.
Yeah.
So Canada is a
So
pretty good country.
great. So you have stayed in India, you've stayed in Canada for work, and obviously, when as a child we are born and brought up in a certain place, the people around us have certain expectations. Were there certain expectations from you? What were you planning to become when you were growing up? Was occupational therapy a planned choice, or it just happened to you?
Occupational therapy was not planned; it was by accident. Yeah, uh, my not my goal, but see, in India, people, your mom and dad and family member, they decide your occupation. In generally, right? So my cousin was a doctor, and so my father thought he should be a doctor. Yeah, and I was pretty good in studies. I had, so there was no doubt in anybody's mind that I will not be a doctor. Yeah, but unfortunately, I missed admission by a few points. Maybe my efforts were not enough. I didn't work hard. I guess that's what I think now. And there was no immediate backup plan that time. Medicine was the one focus, and there was no backup plan. So we were talking with friends and colleagues and teachers. So somebody suggested occupational therapy is a good science. So I got into occupational therapy, and
Did you start
started
liking it then?
after graduation. Finding a job was tough. I was kind of unemployed for 6 months, and then I got a job in Aurangabad Medical College Hospital. But the department was there, but they didn't have a whole lot of assessment protocols or any kind of treatment modalities were lacking there. So I got disappointed, yeah. In the sense that I thought, well, I have better um, talent than I can offer here. I can do something different. So I started joining. I joined a master's program in psychology. Those were like the evening classes. So daytime we were working, and in the evening I used to do the master. So I completed my master in psychology, and then I registered for PhD in psychology. So after completion of masters, I was eligible to apply for Union Public Service Commission's exams. Right? So I applied for the job. I got selected for the post of psychologist, and then I started working for the government of India as a psychologist.
Interesting. So,
So that was
from occupational therapy to psychology, and then how did Canada happen?
while working in Bombay. I was working in the rehab center for the physically disabled people, younger group, and my job was as a psychologist was to do the assessment like aptitude testing and general testing, and put them through various trades for training, like a 1 year training trade, so like a bookbinder, printing, and that kind of stuff. And then after that, they were eligible to get the job. So my job was to sort of find the job for them also. So I used to do a lot of PR in the company with the big companies in Bombay, and I really enjoyed the job because it was like giving employment, giving bread and butter to a person who is at the disadvantage. Yeah, and that was the
Then
best job.
how come Canada?
It was like when I graduated from OT, it was my couple of my friends were um, interested in going abroad, So I thought, well, we also apply. So I had put the application for maybe 100 hospitals, maybe, but nothing, So nothing. There was no positive response from anybody. except that we used to get the brochure that, you got your application, we will let you know, nice handout. So we used to look at the colors, colorful pictures. So I said, oh, this is the hospital, so, but nothing happened. Um, my luck, to my luck, when I was working in Bombay, I got the offer from my old application that I did maybe 3-4 years ago, right? So they were interested in my application. So I said, I was in double mind that time. I didn't want to leave my job because I had a best job. I had a government quarter there, and but my friends, few of my friends were already in Canada, so they kind of coached me into that. So that's how the Canada happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're already kind of settled in a particular environment, grown up in India, very close to the family, and already in a government job, which many people actually even now look forward to getting into, and then suddenly going to Canada, were there any hurdles when you decided that, okay, if I get into this, then I would like to go there? Were there any hurdles that were preventing you from going there? And did you have to overcome them? How did you do that?
The main hurdle was how to tell my family, how to convince my family. Uh, when I got the news that I'm going to go, I I had to tell that to my mother and my father. My mother started crying basically, and my father was, like father, like father are men. They're like men. They say, well, he was also nervous about my going there, but then he spoke to his few friends, and they said, well, God is there. He is going to look after him. So why do you worry about his safety and all that? But my mother, I told her that maybe I will go for 2 years and then I come back. I said, let me go and see how the work is done in that part of the world. And but we went on a visit to India, but we never went back to live there. So after that,
So she never asked you again, when are you
she
coming
was
back?
every time she was asking. When
But,
every visit I used to go, they say, when are you going to bring your luggage here? I said, well, next time maybe.
oh, just
So
one more year, one more year. Okay.
yeah, and
Okay.
I was the only son, so they were, in India, that's a tradition that
Absolutely.
son will stay with mom and dad. He will look after father and mother when
Yeah,
they get
that's
old. So
that's another kind of pressure
yeah,
as a son. So ultimately, you went there, and how were the people there? How were they welcoming enough, or did you face any hurdles there? How was it going to a new country altogether?
going to new country altogether is very challenging. That's one thing. Um, Canada was another cold-ish country, so that was another challenge. And you don't know anybody here, except that I had couple of friends. Yeah, um, working environment is totally different than India. Yeah, these hospitals are totally different. The way they do the assessment here, the way the modalities are used for the treatment are totally different than India. So it was like a learning experience for me, relearning kind of thing, relearning OT. I was already away from OT 2 years when I was working as a psychologist, and then I had to come here. But Canadian people are very accepting. That's one thing, good thing about them. Okay, they know that you are new, so they would try to encourage you. And then luckily I had in my department, there were OTs from all over the world, Philippines, England, India, and there was one Ireland. So we had fun actually. They were all girls and I was the only male there. So learning became kind of easy because they were also from different part of the world. And
Absolutely. So it was
it
like learning together.
yeah.
And yeah, so obviously there were some good people around you, some people who were kind of stressors in your life. I also heard a story about when you went to Canada, and then one day you had a job, and the next day you said you did not have any job, and then you had already left India. How was that moment?
Okay, that's I will explain that one. That was very scary part of my life actually. Um, leaving India from the government job, like central, I was the second in a hierarchy. So I couldn't tell my boss that I'm leaving, I'm going somewhere. So I had to lie. I told him that my father is not doing well, so I will going to stay with my father in Nagpur. So, okay, that's one thing. And he thought I was in Nagpur, I was in Canada. And the hospital that hired me, I mean, they hired me for interview. The deal was I will stay with them for 1 month. They will observe me. I will see if I like the situation there, and then I will go back to India, and then they apply for my immigration. So what happened was this center was in India we didn't have correctional centers, but this is a correctional center. That means it was like a high security prison where all the inmates are going through their thing, and they are getting the treatment. Okay, so there was a OT department in the high security prison. They were all psychotic people. Some of my patients were they murdered people. That was my patient actually. They were murderer. So the interview committee consisted of like 5 or 6 people. There was one lady from Evans, Mrs. Evans. She was a director of OT department at the University Hospital. And then Richard was human resources director. And then my supervisor was there, Donna. And there were chief psychiatrists. Chief psychiatrist was from England, this guy. So in interview, we were all sitting and they were asking me technical questions about forensic psychiatry. And I didn't have the background. So I honestly told them, frankly, I haven't worked in psychiatry. Give me 6 months. I said, I would prove that I'm worth hiring. I said that I had a confidence. There was nothing to lie about, right? So in my opinion, interview went well. In the evening, I got a message from one of my friends that I knew in that city that I got the job, and he found out from Evans, director of OT. So I was excited. Oh wow, I got the job now. I am happy. Next morning, Donna, my supervisor, took me to Richard's office, like executive director of human resources. I said, well, now he's going to give me the appointment letter in my hand. So he broke the news that I was not hired. So last night I was hired. I was at the peak of it. I said, oh, I did it. Next morning, no, you are not. We don't find you suitable for the job because you don't have the experience in forensic psychiatry, which is very highly specialized field. My God, I almost started crying. I said, yeah, I left my job, not left the job, but I said, I came here to do this. So this was the biggest hurdle actually.
Absolutely. Almost left the job. Yeah.
Almost left that. So, but what you say, God is great. Like that's what I think. There are like 3 or 4 people were in the committee. They were trying to not favor me, but my supervisor, Donna, she's an excellent lady. He said, Vijay, there are a lot of jobs here, OT jobs. He said, from tomorrow, you sit in the office, call the hospitals, and then you will get the job. So that's what happened. And then I got a job in another hospital within 2-3 weeks actually. And Donna was one of my references. So first thing they ask her, how is the English? Because we go from now, right? So see, Donna said, I heard her saying, I said, English is pretty good. He's very fluent, except that he has Indian accent, so which is not normal, right? We have the accent. So that was my experience with the Canada, first experience. But like in life, failure is the first step of the success, they say, right? So that was a failure for me.
Absolutely. So you were kind of almost jobless for at least 2 to 3 weeks after winding up from India, almost practically winding up from India, moving to Canada, and with no job safety or security in hand as such. And after a couple of weeks, I think 2 to 3 weeks, you ultimately landed into a job, and then rest is history. After that, I think you've been doing extremely well in your work, not only in Canada, but let me also share that Dr. Suple has been helping out Indian therapists, Indian occupational therapists, in terms of their support, supporting their research papers, research work, supporting the alma mater, Nagpur Government Medical College, and the department. I think you've helped in the upliftment of the department also through the international chapter of AIOTA, that is All India Occupational Therapists Association. Also, Dr. Suple has been playing an important role in promoting occupational therapy profession. So I think you've come a long way, sir, and you've also been sponsoring a trophy for therapists who present their papers in mental health. Is that right? Correct. So in all the international national conferences of AIOTA, one trophy is presented in the name of Dr. Vijay Suple. So that's an incredible achievement, sir. Now I would like to know, is there anything else, anything more on your list to achieve, maybe professionally or say personal goals, more climbing on trees or something else?
Let me explain about, you mentioned about Nagpur OT school and some of the activity that we are doing right now for the OT profession, OT students. So I just want to highlight something there. Thanks to Dr. Sophia Azad and Dr. Lina Deshpande. And they were, I was in the meeting one day, and then we were talking about what the students can do for the school. So Sophia Madam kind of suggested that we can donate some money and buy some nice equipment for the sensory integration unit. So that is how it started. And thanks to my friends and colleagues who donated handsomely, and we kind of bought nice equipment for that SI unit in Nagpur OT school. So there are some things will be going on in my mind actually. We haven't. I'm talking to my friends, what we can do more for the OT school. And
you have already sponsored a few candidates who are pursuing their research projects in India. Are there more to come? What's there in pipeline?
Yeah, I've been going to conferences in India for like the last 10 years, every year regularly. I do the presentations in the conferences, and President Dr. Anil Shivata says, he suggested that I should become a convener of the international chapter. He thought I can gather people, OTs who were trained in India, and bring them under one umbrella. So he gave me the responsibility, and I thank him for that. And we're working on my committee. We have people, OTs from New Zealand, Australia, UK, USA. I'm from Canada, UAE, and Doha. And giving back to the profession, that's what the goal is. When you achieve that, when you are successful in your career, okay, when you achieve something, everything, and then you need to offer others whatever you learn. So that's the goal of our chapter. We're offering like free webinars, and the second thing is we have done already awarded 2 scholarships. One is UG and one PG. Next year, my goal is to have like 5 research scholarships, and I have already I have 10 donors in the pipeline. I asked for my friends, and we will give 10,000 rupees. Not a problem at all. So there are people helping, there are people donating money, and for the good cause. So next year, 2022, would be 5 scholarships. We will distribute 2 maybe UG, 3 PG or something like that. So, and there is
Awesome.
Our chapter has created the step-by-step approach for that. So we will be inviting applications pretty soon from the students, and if the proposal is accepted, they will get $10,000, 10,000 rupees, sorry, um, as a grant after the completion of the project. So we're trying to encourage younger generation student to do the research, do original research. Okay, don't pick up something by here and there. Just go to the library, read the journals, and whatever points come to your mind, do research on that topic. So it's a good idea to get hands-on experience, so that we are mentoring them also. We are teaching them to write the proposal also, how to write the proposal, right? Because they haven't done it. They are like just a raw talent. Yeah. So that is working pretty good. So that's on my plate right now. And thanks to my committee member, they're all supportive and helping us. Yeah.
That's really nice. And so all of you who are budding ergonomists, please take up research in the field of ergonomics also. And we as a club are also there to support you. Dr. Suple and his team from International Chapter of AIOTA, they are also there to support you, to guide you throughout the project. So take up ergonomics as research also. Yes, sir. So you have heard about Ergon, the Ergonomics Club, and you have been guiding and mentoring our budding ergonomists also. Anything that you would like to share about your experience with the club meetings, with the club working so far?
Well, I mean, I admire your leadership and starting the club. That's one thing, and it's a unique way of promoting professionalism. That's one thing, and you are advancing the profession in your capacity as a practitioner. So it's very nice. Hats off to you, actually, Mona. I am a member of your group, and then I get the messages, I read whatever is there, and you have some activities going on all the time, so which is very nice. And like ergonomics is it's becoming quite popular in India nowadays. I attended conferences, so there is always like a couple of 2 or 3 speakers talking about the ergonomics in AIOTA conferences. So
absolutely. How do you think can the club members or ergonomics as such help in the sphere where you currently work?
See, ergonomics is there in everyday activities of daily living. All the activities that we do, we don't realize ergonomics. The presence of ergonomics is there. I'm sitting in my office chair right now. My chair is designed ergonomically to accommodate my body. Okay, it has got the leg separator. Okay, it has got the coccyx kind of little patch there, so that your bones are, your weight-bearing joints are, weight-bearing bones are accommodated properly. So the manufacturers are well aware of the human body. Okay, so any piece of equipment using, even like sleeping in a bed, you will find the mattresses they are making ergonomically fit mattresses. Even the pillow, you must have seen that they have that little counter to accommodate your cervical spine.
Absolutely. So you feel that your patients and your family, you're known to the professionals, everybody could be helped with ergonomics intervention?
Oh yeah, ergonomics, like I say.
So we would also like to have a look at your ergonomic chair after our talk is over, and just give us a glance of your chair. Now, like you said, basically, I would like to sum up and bring us all to some kind of conclusions to what Vijay sir has been trying to convey, and then sir, I'll come back to you for your message. So in life, I think he has faced failures. So life has not been a smooth ride. Okay, as we see him in the conferences, presenting trophies and receiving awards and handing over the awards. That means he's a celebrity professional himself. So this stage he's not achieved in one day. So he has also seen those ups and downs in life, where there was always some competition. There were some people always going ahead of him. There were some kind of failures. There were some kind of hurdles. There were some kind of emotional, challenges. But I think what kept you going is, what I can understand from your story is, what kept you going is your physical fitness, your determination to keep doing, keep achieving higher and higher, and achieve mental satisfaction when you're working somewhere, and obviously the belief in yourself. That is what I could gather from your story. Now I would come back to you, sir, for your message to the younger generation.
Yeah, you summarize it very well. Okay, each the failure is the lesson for success, actually. Yeah. And there was one good joke about, the one industrialist, they asked the reporter asking, like, how are you, sir? Why are you, how, no, okay, I'm trying to remember the joke, actually. But anyway, leave apart the joke. The thing is, the failure is the key. That's one thing, and that keeps you on the ground. That keeps your feet on the ground. Failure, yeah. So that you learn from your mistakes, yeah. And then if you make more mistakes, you learn more, actually, yeah. And work from your heart. That's one thing. Be honest to your work. Be honest to yourself, yeah. And your goal should be not too high. Like, you have to evaluate your own self, yeah. That's a adjustment thing, right? We adjust with
Absolutely.
our colleagues,
So,
friends, and you
so
adjust
when
with your
things
own
go
self.
wrong, when things go wrong, how do you pull yourself up?
Well, yeah, it's a. I mean, in my situation, in my case, like, I didn't plan things, yeah, because planning didn't work for me. I planned to go for medicine, I didn't go. Okay, I planned to do this, so I did something else. I rerouted myself. I directed my energy to another goal. Yeah. I created another goal. Okay, maybe not that high, but maybe a little bit lesser kind of achievable goal. Yeah.
Or
So
probably even higher. I think what you actually achieved was even higher than what you failed in.
yeah, well, you can say that, actually, yeah. But the consistency is there. That's one thing. Persistent consistency there, and not to get kind of demoralized, yeah. And you want to be with people who are supporting you. And I always say, there would be 2 3 people in a group that don't support you, but there would only be one person will be behind you. He like a god figure for you. So you need to identify those people in life.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. So, identifying good people and developing good people skills is the key to success. I think whatever we do, ultimately, it is all about a relationship. Whether you want to develop a good relationship with your client or co-professionals, if you want to taste that success, I think a relationship is the key. So, having said that, I think I would really like to thank from the bottom of my heart to spare the Sunday morning with us, sir. Canada time, I think he's been kind enough to help us with his thoughts and insights. And it has been really nice talking to you, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invite. Looking forward to listening to more stories from you, from your successes and failures. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank
thank
you
you.
so much, viewers, for joining us.
I thank you and appreciate your giving me this opportunity to come here and speak to you and have my interview with you. So thank you very much, and you are doing a good job in a way. I mean, I keep telling you that your professional development that's what you are doing by this through this group, right? Ergo group, and um, I see those activities more and more in India. I mean, there are quite a few people, actually, yeah. And Another good observation I forgot to mention. One, I just want to add a couple of things here. I see the knowledge base is getting bigger and bigger in India. The young generation, younger students and practitioners, they are pretty knowledgeable. They have the knowledge of thing. Only thing is missing is how to apply that in the Indian situation. That's what is missing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
we
it's
do have quite a few, budding professionals in India, and I think this is a good motivational and insightful talk that you have shared with us today. Thank you so much again for joining us, and thank you, viewers. Stay tuned for more such lovely, lively stories of human X factors. See you soon. Happy working.
Thank you. Bye bye.